this video I'm going to be going through a neck pain menu from the Pain Free book by Egoscue. So I highly recommend all my clients and anybody that's in pain read this book, as it really explains the method and explains why you're in pain. So if you've got knee pain, wrist pain or anything like that, there are lots of different menus in here for you to try as well, so that's why I highly recommend you read the book. So you will notice from the menu that we're not going to be doing anything like pushing the head back or anything like that. And the reason for this is the body is a unit, so the issue will be somewhere else within the body rather than in your neck. So all you'll need for this session is a pillow or a yoga block, and if you have an ottoman or a low sofa, but if not, I can tell you a workaround so we can get started. So for the first exercise, we're going to be using the pillow against a wall. So we want our heels to be against the wall, and then we're going to be putting the pillow or cushion between the knees. Our feet are going to be pointing forward, so that's the outside of your foot pointing forward, and you want roughly hip distance apart. We want to relax the whole of the rest of the body. So with your head position, if you've got a head that's quite far forward, what may happen when I ask you to put your head against the wall is you do this movement, so you end up looking at the ceiling and your chin starts pointing up. So I'd rather your head goes to where it wants to go. So if you're looking forward and your head isn't touching the wall, I'd rather you be there. But if you can bring your head to the wall, then great, as long as you're looking straight ahead. So remember, we're relaxing the whole body. So while we're here, it's a really good chance to start focusing on what we feel. So can you feel both heels against the wall? So my heels moved off slightly, so I've put that back on there on the right side. Can you feel both your glute muscles, so your bottom muscles are touching the wall, and are they touching evenly? And again, can you feel your shoulders evenly pressing into the wall? So you may find that one side is pressing in more than the other, and it may be a left shoulder and a right hip, or any diagonal or both that are not pressing into the wall as much as the other side. So focus on our breathing, and in a few minutes we'll just see if anything has changed. So in the Pain Free book it does say to stay in this position for up to 6 to 8 minutes. But for me, I feel fairly balanced, so I would look to do only a few minutes in this exercise. But we'll stay in here a little bit longer for you to start noticing any changes. So we're using the wall really to help the body balance from left to right, because as you can feel, or you may feel, that one side doesn't feel like it's touched in the wall the same as the other. So we're just reminding our body that we need to be in balance. So this is why this is a great exercise to do. So with the pillow, we're looking to lightly press the pillow, just so we've got it holding onto the pillow between our knees, but we're not looking to squeeze or anything. So focus on the breathing, just making sure that we're feeling relaxed in this position. So again, it's quite good just to go through. Are things starting to feel a bit more balanced now, or are they the same? If you feel you need longer, excuse me, if you feel like you need longer in this exercise, then please press pause before moving on to the next exercise. So for the next exercise, we're going to go through short fit. So we're hip distance apart, feet and they're facing forward, and then you're going to take your left foot and place it so the heel is in line with the big toe. You want to be looking straight ahead on this one, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be lifting the toes up, and then we're going to be lowering them and slightly pressing them into the ground. Now if you're really new to this type of exercise, what we may need to avoid is kind of a scrunching the toes like this, scrunching them. So we want to avoid that. So we're going up, and you can spread them out if it feels good for you, and lightly press them down, up and down. So it's 3 sets of 10 on this one. You want the weight evenly on both feet as well. And we're keeping the heel and the ball of the foot on the floor. So we're going to swap to the other side, so I'll just show you from the side view. So place the other foot in line with the big toe, the heel, and then we're lifting and slightly pressing, lifting and lightly pressing. So remember to look straight ahead and keep the balance on both feet. If you don't usually work your feet, you may find that they may be a little bit sore tomorrow, but that's a good thing. That's all good, because we often forget to work on our feet. So we'll just do one more set. So you may notice that I've got a small arch in my lower foot when the toes are going up, and my foot starts to flatten when they're on the ground. So when we're walking, we do need to be able to have the arch and our foot to be able to flatten as well. So this is another good reminder of how the foot should be working. So it's a great exercise, this one. And then we'll swap feet. So to start off with, you may find that 1 set or 2 sets enough for you to start off with, and then you can always increase to add in another set of 10 on each side. So we'll move on to the next exercise. For this next position, you do need a ottoman or a low sofa or a box or a low chair to be able to do this one. And what I recommend that we do is I'll go through this one, and then while I'm in the exercise I'll explain what you can do if you haven't got a piece of equipment to use. So we're going to be kneeling on here, and we're going to be walking our hands forward. And what we want to do is place the hands on the floor and make sure that the hands are pointing forward and that they're evenly spaced. And we're going to be tilting the bottom up to the sky, so it's creating a small arch in your lower back. And we're going to be making sure that our shoulders are above our wrists, and we need to make sure that we relax our head and relax our shoulders, so it brings our shoulder blades together. So we're going to remain in this position for 1 to 3 minutes. So I will talk you through now what you need to do without a book. So it's very similar. So your lower legs will be on the ground and you're just walking your hands forward, enough so that your hips are in front of your knees, and then exactly the same, we're creating a small arch in our lower back and bringing the shoulder blades together. Relax the head. So always remember to breathe and relax your stomach muscles as well. So we're looking to create and help remove imbalances in the body. So we're looking to remove imbalances in the pelvis and in the shoulders in this position. So it's a great exercise, even though it's very challenging. So to start off with, you may want to aim to do 1 minute and then build up to 3 minutes. The next exercise is called a hero's pose. So if you've got a problem bending your knees, it may be wise for you to have a little cushion for you to sit on to kind of lower you up slightly. If that helps, give it a go. So we want both knees and our feet together for this one. And what we're looking to do is we're looking to tilt the pelvis forward so it creates a small arch in our lower back. So it's just like this, tilting it forward to create a small arch. And I want you to relax your stomach and relax the rest of the upper body. And when it feels right, you may notice that your shoulders start coming together a little bit. But we're not forcing anything, we're just relaxing into this position. So completely relax your stomach muscles, look forward and keep that arch in your lower back. So stay here for 1 minute. So in this exercise, I like to feel what feels different afterwards. Because a lot of the time throughout our day, we're slumped in this position and we're doing some admin, or we're sitting in a car, or we're sitting on a cosy sofa. So it's really nice to remind the body to go into this position. For sitting knee pillow squeezes, you will need a chair, and you want your knees and hips to be roughly at 90-degree angle with your ankles. And you will need your pillow again. So we're popping the pillow in between our knees, and I want the feet to be pointing forward, roughly hip distance apart, and you want the ankle joint to be slightly ahead of your knee. And like the same position, so we tend to spend a lot of time in a slump position. I want us to roll the pelvis forward so it creates a small arch in the lower back. And what I do want you to avoid is doing this as well. So we want to avoid that. We're just creating the movement from the hip, and then the lower body responds. Our upper body is going to be relaxed. We're going to relax the stomach again, and we're just going to be squeezing and releasing the pillow. So we want to do 3 sets of 10 of this. And when we're squeezing, we want to squeeze at about 70% effort rather than going squeezing really, really hard. So we just want to wake up the muscles rather than giving them a hard time. So we will squeeze and release, squeeze and release. So let's do a few here. So remember to breathe, and just remember to keep checking, is my stomach relaxed, my upper body relaxed, and I've still got an arch in my lower back, looking forward. So we've done 10 here. So once you've done 10, just relax, come out of it, and then we'll go back into it. So we're turning the muscles on and we're turning them off. So this exercise is helping to balance the pelvis again. So if we've got any imbalances, it will help to remove them. So we're squeezing and releasing. I've done a lot of knee pillow squeezes today, so I can feel it now. So squeeze and release, squeeze and release. And again, come out of this and roll back in. Make sure stomach's relaxed, shoulders are relaxed. It's just the inner thigh muscles doing the work with the squeezing. The last exercise is called air bench, and we do need a blank wall for this one, and we're going to be slowly walking our feet away from the wall whilst the upper body is leaning against the wall. And we want to get to a point where we feel comfortable, so our ankle joints needs to be slightly ahead of the knee joints, and we need to, instead of like we were doing in the last exercise where we were bringing the pelvis down and forward, we're going to be bringing it back so you can feel your lower back on the wall. We're going to be relaxing the tummy muscles, and we're going to go for, so our body is slightly above a 90-degree angle, But if this is your first time doing this exercise, you may want to go higher up the wall. So just make sure that your ankle joints are slightly ahead of your knee joints. And we're going to be pushing our hips into the wall and pushing our heels into the wall at the same time, whilst relaxing the stomach. So there's no need to push the head back. Let the head and shoulders go where they want to go in this exercise. If you notice that your knees are starting to go in or out, you can always use a cushion in there as well to keep it stable. So we're in this position between 1 and 3 minutes. So to start off with, it may feel quite intense, so you may want to do just 1 minute. Now focus on your breathing, making sure that your stomach's relaxed and your heels and hips are pushing into the wall at the same time. So this exercise always reminds me of school. I used to do this one a lot in school. Just checking my foot position and pressing. So my lower back is flat against the wall and I'm relaxing my stomach. It's trying to help me with this one. So relax, 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 stomach. So if you feel you can do a little bit longer, carry on, set a timer and do up to 3 minutes. If you feel like it's getting a bit too intense, you can always walk yourself back up the wall a little bit or have a little walk and come back to it. With any of the exercises, if they do feel a little bit intense, you can always do lower reps or less time. And as I give an example on the air bench, you can come up the wall if you need to. So after you've finished a routine, it's always a good idea just to have a little walk around and ask yourself what feels different. Do you feel looser? Does your shoulder feel a little bit different? How does your neck feel? So these are quite good questions to ask. So if you did feel really good after doing it, then keep doing this menu every day. Thank you very much for watching and please subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more. Thank you.